Yeah.
What's up, C.
Bob?
Rosie? How you doing, man?
I'm all right.
You
Missed you the
missed
last
me?
couple days. You doing okay?
I've had a great last couple of days. I did miss coming on here and talking shop with you, that's for sure. So I'm excited to get to it today because there's a lot to
Oh, I
talk
know.
about, man.
I know. Should we just dive right in?
Might as well.
Okay. We'll start with our boy Tyler Glasnow, one of my 6 children on the Rose rotation, partially torn UCL in his pitching elbow. Yesterday, he said part of the reason, if not the entire reason, is the fact that he went cold turkey. He admitted to using a combination of rosin and sunscreen, which, although technically illegal, you as a major league hitter for a decade said it doesn't bother guys out there. He had to go cold turkey because they're about to implement the new checking of the baseball next week. And so he felt like that hurt him during his start in Chicago. It was tough to listen to. There was a lot of information to dive through. Big picture here, should Major League Baseball have waited to implement its system until 2022, or are you okay with them starting it next week?
Honestly, no. They should crack down on it right now, but they should crack down on it the correct way. We've been saying for a long time, and there are numbers to back this up that they have. Sunscreen, rosin, sweat. It adds tack to the ball. It's what most pitchers do. It doesn't add the RPM jumps that are noticeable, that make a difference. There's no reason for them to say you can't use that stuff. In fact, I don't know how they can say you can't use sunscreen, you can't use rosin. The problem is here, they didn't consult any of us that have 30, 40 years literally handling a baseball. I know everything there is to know about a baseball. I could have been helped. These guys making the rules, guess what they don't know? What it feels like to hold a baseball when you're sweaty or when it's cold. You know, they just have no feel. And I think that's going to be a big discussion this offseason is the fact that MLB, they don't have any feel. There's no nuance to what they do. They're reactionary to everything, and they're getting guys freaking hurt. And it pisses me off because all they have to do is make a few phone calls. I could lay it out to MLB in about 25 minutes what they should be doing with this topic. And everybody that's in the big leagues, all the players, most likely would agree with me because it's not that freaking hard, Chris.
Okay,
it's
well,
not that hard.
Here's what Major League Baseball said. The reason we're cracking down on everything from spider tack to sunscreen and rosin is because the umpires won't be able to tell the difference.
Yes, they can, dude. That's the thing. It's so easy. Again, consult people that have handled baseballs. We'll tell you how to do it.
All right. So if there was a
Pisses me
difference,
off. I'm sorry.
so you're saying that they could have implemented a program right now, or June 21st, next Monday, that would have allowed pitchers to continue using a combination of sunscreen and rosin, which only gives you grip, doesn't increase spin on the baseball. You're saying that could have been done by next week?
I think so. I'll tell you how you could do it. Okay? If you see a guy digging in with his fingers into his glove or his belt or whatever, his hat, go check him. If the guy's grabbing his forearm, that's sunscreen and rosin. That's the simplest way you could do it right now. I know you can get more in-depth. You know, Bauer talked about what he talked about with,
right.
Testing guys' hands and all that. I think stuff like that, more advanced ways to detect things could be implemented in the offseason, probably will be implemented in the offseason. But like I said, the lack of feel in this decision is outrageous to me. Everybody uses sunscreen and rosin, position players included, because that's provided and it is legal. That's the thing. It's not illegal to do that, okay? And it only provides tack. The freaking numbers are out there, Chris. It's just, it makes me, as you can see, visibly upset to talk about.
I know. Well, all right. So a few things, because we want to continue on this. Trevor Bauer actually went on the Dodgers pregame show yesterday before their game against Philadelphia and gave like an 8-minute dissertation. He held the baseball up and it was holding here, and he said, is this illegal, stuff that I'm using? And he said, no, it's actually a combination of sweat and rosin, which is not illegal. So how are umpires supposed to tell the difference? He talked about things that he would implement as far as the offseason moving forward. He said he agreed with Tyler Glasnow. He said, I just don't like them doing it mid-season and all that sort of stuff. What is your biggest concern starting next Monday? Is it that it's going to be a witch hunt, that we're going to pull guys who really aren't breaking rules? Is it that we're going to find a big name gets cheated and all of a sudden baseball's name gets dragged through the mud again? What is it?
I'm more concerned about people getting hurt. You know, there is a handful of guys in the big leagues, however many the percentage is, that are using this extra stuff, Spider Tack, Pelican Grip, whatever they're using. They're at fault as well. Like, they pushed it too far, and and then because of that, there's a dumb reactionary response by MLB. So, like, I think if you would have just said, look, you can use sunscreen and rosin, we would have avoided all of this. Like I said, if a guy is going to his forearm and it gets a little bit of tack on the ball, let it go. If a guy's digging in his glove, you're seeing brown stuff come out. He's digging into his belt. Like, there are ways to do it, but nobody discussed it with any players. That's another problem I have with it. So my biggest fear is people getting hurt like Glasnow.
There's such a lack of trust right now between both sides that this got pushed all the way to the back, and then when it became the main topic of discussion, people panicked. There are a lot of people in the chat saying, I can't believe that you guys are protecting cheating pitchers. I will say this once and for all. Listen, clearly, even though I did not play Major League Baseball, I've talked to enough guys who have, so I feel like I'm well-versed on the topic. When you use sunscreen and rosin, that is the equivalent of driving 40 in a 35. When you're using Spider Tack, that is the equivalent of driving 100 in a school zone. Technically, they are both breaking the law. One, most of us will say, no big deal. Like, there's no way that the cop should have pulled that person over. The other one, we say, is reckless and is dangerous for everybody out there. So that's the deal. If you're going to hop up on your high horse and say, hey, I have no sympathy for Tyler Glasnow because he admitted to cheating yesterday, check yourself for a second, okay? You better be driving 35 in the 35, because if not, I'm coming after you. It's just wrong. We're talking about players' health. We're talking about the future of their careers. Baseball is going to be around long after Tyler Glasnow's done earning whatever he earns. So stop with this shit. Enough.
Yeah, please. I agree. I don't even want to say technically it's cheating because the rosin's provided and sunscreen is provided as well. I don't think that's considered cheating whatsoever.
But
so I don't even
listen, you know exactly. The combination of it is considered illegal. So technically, by the bylaws of MLB, it is. But that doesn't mean that it should be on the books. That doesn't mean we shouldn't be able to change.
Exactly. Talk to anybody that's handled a baseball over the last 40 years. They can tell you what should be legal, what shouldn't be legal. It's very easy. And people are saying, oh, this is dividing the players. This is MLB up to their tricks, trying to, get them talking amongst themselves, being pissed at each other. That's the opposite of what's happening. Everybody wants this shit out of the game except for a handful of guys that use it, okay? The thing that's happening right now is people are pissed that MLB makes these decisions so reactionary. They're
right. never
proactive about anything. That's what people are pissed about. It's only going to make us stronger and more united going into the CBA.
Hey, Kramer_Ryan, you keep saying literally not according to the rules. It's cheating. You've said it a bunch of times in the chat. I'm explaining to you why they should change the rule. Do you understand?
Yeah.
This is how we make progress in this country. We change things. The Constitution at some point got amended. Okay? That's how we adapt. It's how we move forward. And it's the reason that baseball's had such a problem in the public eye. Because we've been so slow.
So slow.
So enough. When we're talking about the health and safety of players moving forward, it pisses me off. Because you guys have a short span to earn as much as you can. The owners are going to sit up on their asses for 40 years and earn as much money as they can. Thank you.
Love it.
Let's move on. The Yankees got a huge come-from-behind win in Buffalo yesterday. Before the game, Brian Cashman came out and said, quote, we are going to do everything to right the ship. If you could do one thing to improve the Yankees right now, what would it be?
I would get in a time machine, and I'd go back and sign Taijuan Walker to a 2-year deal for $20 million like the Mets did. That's what I would do. But other than that, man, I think they're talking about needing someone in center field, obviously with Hicks down. I don't know where they could go. If they're going to say they want to stay under that CBT tax, the competitive balance tax, I don't know where they're going to get help. So I think Cash said yesterday that they might be willing to go over it. Thank goodness, man. It's not a cap. You self-imposed that cap, so they need help. Whether it's Kyle Gibson or another starting pitcher, I think they could use that because if you really want to be a World Series contender, you have to have starters. Their bullpen's excellent. I think their hitting is going to come around, too. I really do. I know people in New York are sick of hearing that, but just play the players. Let these guys go out and play more than twice a week. Your hitting will come around. You need a starter.
Hold on. What do the Yankees rank in scoring in the American League?
It's bad. I know. I think it's going to come around, Chris.
It's last.
I know.
It's last. We're not 5 weeks into the season.
Go get Trevor Story. He's there. Let's go.
Well, they got to do something, and I would go get a Marte. You could have your choice. You could have Starling if you want to just go on a short deal. He's a free agent.
Go get a Marte, did you say?
Yeah, just grab a Marte. You could either go Starling. He's at the end of his deal after this year. Cattell has a couple more years after this season. You need him in center. You do not have a center fielder right now. So I think that would help on in a lot of areas. So that would be fun. Throw it in the chat. I know we have a few Yankees fans out there. But we know we have a ton of baseball fans, and we have a huge announcement. We are going to Denver, Colorado for the Midsummer Classic in a month. That's right. JOMBOY Media will be two of the people that will be going. You can see Jimmy there. You can see Jake. You can see Kelsey Winger. She'll be there. Pete Moylan will be there. All of your amazing JOMBOY content creators. We're going to be on the ground having a ton of fun. We're going to have house games. We're going to have blitzball. We're going to be at the Home Run Derby. And then the big thing, Tuesday, July 13th. If you're not going to the All-Star game, come join us for a special VIP party. Coming your way at noon Eastern. Tickets will be available for $50. We're going to have a link in our Instagram bio to purchase once they're live. So you can lock up a VIP ticket that comes with games, giveaways, prizes, and 2 drink tickets because we're going to be at Improper City Bar in Denver. So you get to hang out with us. Also, you could have a chance to strike out my man Trevor Plouffe out and back. We're going to be doing some games out there. A back alley ball game. So they're going to have a chance to strike you out or take hacks against Pete Moylan.
First I heard about this.
I'm breaking news to you?
Yeah, you are. Hey, bring it. I'm Home Run Derby champ. My swing is locked in right now.
So once again, tickets are going live at noon Eastern. There's going to be a link in the bio to purchase them. Only 50 VIP tickets are being sold, so don't miss out on your chance. It's $50. It's a ton of fun. We are going to have the best time. We can't wait. We're going to be talking shit, and Plouffe wants to see your arm.
Bring it.
Oh, man.
My confidence is sky high right now.
Oh, yeah. When isn't it?
That's true. That's the truth.
Okay, up next. I don't know if you stayed up late for this one. The Giants, down 7-0 early in the game against the Arizona Diamondbacks, came up and won 8-7 thanks to an 8th-inning grand slam by grandson Yaz. So was that a bigger comeback win for the G-Men or a tougher loss for the Arizona Diamondbacks, who have now dropped 21 in a row on the road?
Jake Snakes, I'm sorry. I just don't really care about talking about you because they're not really trying that hard this year. So I don't want to talk about them. Let's talk about the Giants, something positive here. They keep saying F you to Chris Rose.
Yes, they have.
And it's a big win because, look, we know the NL West is a beast. You got the Padres who are kind of playing down right now, but they're going to be there. The Dodgers are right on the Giants' heels. You have to win ball games like this to keep pace. And they're doing it, and they can do it pitching. They scored 8 unanswered or whatever it was. To go ahead, 9 unanswered. So they're doing it every single which way. I love rooting for this team because it's a collection of older veterans, some young guys, not a lot of household names there. And the best part about it is every single victory is like a little kick to your shins, Chris. I love that.
Yeah, they're getting me. They're definitely kicking my shins right now. I can feel it under the table. With all that being said, and I think it is a huge, huge win for the Giants. What a boost. That place was going nuts. John Miller on the call was loving it. Diamondbacks. This is their second losing streak of at least 12 games. Only 2 other teams in the history of baseball have had multiple losing streaks of at least 12 games in the same season. They have now lost 21 in a row at home or on the road. That is one shy of the Major League record. I don't know how you walk into that clubhouse today and don't feel spooked.
It's
like
tough.
There's something. You were up 7-0. I get it. It was only the second inning. But Plouffe, how many games did you lose in your career when you were up 7-0 at one point?
Honestly, you don't want to talk to me about that. I lost plenty of games over there in Minnesota. But look, to your point, man, it's hard to show up to the ballpark when things like this are going on. And, I know it's not – the players are playing hard. There's just,
of course they are.
They just don't have the horses, man. Like, what are you going to do? Like I said, I've been on teams like that. It's tough to show up to the ballpark, but these guys – you got to kind of root for the individual players right now because it's difficult to get yourself up when man, we got 3 more months of baseball and it's going to be a lot of losing. It's tough.
So the reliever that came in the game, Castellanos, he had to change his mitt right before, like a hitter or two before the grand slam because it was gray and they were wearing gray unis. So, you can't have your glove be the same color as the uni. So when that happened, I was like, oh no, something funky's going to happen. And sure enough.
1-2 pitch too by Yaz. A pretty swing into the bay. Gosh.
Yeah. By the way, how much of this do we blame on Jake? All of it?
Yeah, kind of like at least 80% of the
at least
Diamondbacks' problems are Jake hopping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, you're responsible for 17 of the 21 game losing
I think
streak
so.
On the road. All right, last thing here. Better birthday in baseball. You for winning the home run derby up in Minnesota when you turned 35 yesterday. Dom Smith for getting serenaded by the Citi Field crowd courtesy of Pete Alonso in his post-game interview, which was cool. Or Dusty Baker, who turned 72 yesterday, and Jose Altuve hit a walk-off granny in extras.
Those are all pretty good days. Dom Smith getting serenaded by the New York fans has got to feel really good. Jose hitting the Grand Slam walk-off, got to feel good. But it feels great beating Joe Mauer at his own charity event, taking home the title. I needed that. I told you I went in. I think most of us didn't have many swings going into the event, but it was very competitive, a lot of fun, and it was for a great cause. The Children's Gillette Hospital out here in Minnesota. We raised like $200,000 doing that. The Mauers put on an incredible event, so I was happy to be here. And then, to win it, I didn't think I really cared until I got in that box.
Of course you did.
Really cared.
And by the way, you didn't blow out. That's what I was worried about, right?
I don't feel too great today, I'll be honest with you.
Hey, just use the Theragun on the back. You should be just fine. For me, I think it's cool. When Alonso gets on the mic, I mean, just anything goes.
Yeah, he's good.
I thought that was amazing. He was incredibly out of tune. He will not be singing at any relative's birthday party anytime soon. But for him to get everybody going, that was cool. I liked it.
Love that.
What do you got going on, JOMBOY? Anything?
Yesterday we had an episode of Sequence come out talking about Jesse Winker and the adjustments that he's made. He's made some very big adjustments, and it's happened over kind of a long period of time. So little by little, it ends up being a big adjustment. So got that going on, and then I'll be back on Talking Baseball on Friday for our series recap. Thank you for filling in for me on Monday.
Absolutely.
What about you? What do you got?
So I taped 2 podcasts yesterday. The schedule got a little wonky on us. Archie Bradley's getting released tomorrow. We gave a little taste of what it was. He is in favor of all of the implementation that's going on next week in baseball. He said, basically, I look at it as a hitter. And so it's a fascinating 20-minute discussion. We talked about a bunch of other stuff, like the net falling down at the game in Philly, the straw hat, where that all came from. He started the whole jersey the NBA jersey thing when they flew out west. So a bunch of stuff. And then we taped Brault with Todd Frazier, and that's going to drop next week. Frazier's going to represent Team USA in the Olympics in Japan. He has got an amazing, never-before-told Joey Votto story that makes you go like this. Like just when you thought you heard all of Joey Votto's stories.
Love that.
So we got that stuff coming out. So, we're always busy here at JOMBOY Media. We appreciate you guys soaking up the content. We want to be the number one destination for the baseball fan. You might not like what we say all the time. We just want you to listen and give us a chance. And that's that.
Love it.
We're back at it again tomorrow, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. You'll be back?
I'll be back.
Cool. Travel safely. Stretch out that oblique today, okay, bro?
I like it. Thank you, Chris. See you guys tomorrow.
Peace, everybody.